Hi everyone, my name's Adam. This is my YouTube channel, Adam Sews, and this is this week's Friday Sews. So I just wanted to thank Jen from Stay in Jen's Sewing Room for setting up this amazing hashtag that has brought hundreds of the sewing community together and has created lifelong friends between loads of people. Dobby is trying to come up for a cuddle because he is the little beast. And I am going to go and quickly give him something to chew on so he doesn't get under my feet the whole time. And I'll be back with you in a minute to go through what I've been up to this week. So this week has been a bit of a busy week in terms of life in general. I haven't really been able to get that much sewing done. I did manage to get a pair of trousers finished, which I will go through with you in a minute. I'm going to do a little bit of a mini review on those as well because it's a pattern that I've been looking at making for quite some time and haven't got round to making up until now. But before that, I will go through all of my deliveries that I got this week. So the first thing that I got delivered this week was some beautiful fabric from Fabrics by Penny community group on Facebook. I ordered some of this gorgeous rib. It's like a rib jersey knit. It's almost like a cross between a jersey and a ponte, almost. So it is this really nice rib knit. It's got a sideways stretch that is probably about a 25% stretch. So it's brilliant for making some more roll necks like the one I'm wearing. So a couple of friends of mine saw the roll neck that I'm wearing now, and another one as well that I made for Darren last week or the week before. And they said, oh, I love that, could you make me one? So I got 4 meters of this, which will allow me to make 2 roll neck sweatshirts. And it's got just enough stretch that it will be easy to get in and out of, but it won't be too stretchy that it won't hold its shape and it isn't stable enough. So it's quite a good stable knit is what I mean. And it was a really, really good price. Penny had it in multiple colours, but I thought grey's best, it goes with everything. I am a sucker for buying grey fabric and wearing grey clothes. It's just an easy colour that goes with lots of different things. So that was my first thing that turned up this week. The second thing that turned up was some striped fabric, which as many of you may know, I use striped fabric for most of the bindings on most of my bags, like this one behind me, and also on my slippers, which I'm actually wearing and are in desperate need of me to replace. So I got the multicoloured because I thought in very fine amounts it will look really pretty as a binding like on these bags. I stocked up on some black and white because any time I see black and white stripes, I try and get hold of as much of it as I possibly can because I go through umpteen meters of this a month because I bind most of my bags with black and white binding because I just think it finishes the edges really nicely. So the other thing that I got up to this week was while I was out at work, I was bypassing the Quilt Rooms in Dorking. And some of you may have seen that I stopped off there and took my lunch break there and grabbed some Tula while it was on a 30% off. So if you are a Tula fan and you live in the UK, if you spend £50 or more up until Sunday this weekend, I believe, there is a 30% off all Tula, apart from pre-orders and pre-cuts. So they've still got some line work. They've got Moon Garden, Curious and Curiouser, Parisville Deja Vu. They've got some Daydreamer, lots and lots. They have got 30% off until Sunday evening, I think it is. So if you spend £50 or more, you basically get it for £10.50 a metre, I think it works out. So it's considerably cheaper than normal. So while I was passing, I thought it'd be rude not to go in there. So I managed to get hold of some of the peacock fabric in line work, which is Tall Tales. So I only got half a metre of that because I don't really use much of this, but I just wanted to have half a metre just to go into my stash because I may need it at some point and it's been discontinued. The chance of me getting any more of it's very slim. So the other thing that I did as well is I got some of the Moon Garden of the owls in both colourways. I just got a metre of each of those. And I couldn't help myself when I was in there, but I ended up getting a metre of Hissy Fit, which I always said that I wasn't really that interested in Hissy Fit because of it being a snake. I'm not a big snake person. But when I actually looked at it in person, the fabric itself is absolutely stunning. I mean, all of Tudor's fabrics are stunning, but if you actually look at the level of detail on the face of the snake and stuff, it is really quite sweet. It's not actually freaky or anything like I thought it was going to be. And the florals that are on there are just incredible. So I thought, you know what, that's, on the whole, the level of detail that goes into the fabric is just absolutely stunning. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to treat myself to 1 metre. I'm sure I'll make something nice out of it. So that was my Tudor haul. I also got a metre of the line work ribbon with the pandas on it, which is the one that goes with this one up here. The other thing that I managed to get done this week, sewing-wise, where the thing I actually managed to sew, was the Basquiat Trousers by Mood Society, which is a free pattern download. You can donate to the website if you so wish. I have... These come in a size 34 to 52, which I will try and work out what that means in terms of pattern sizing. I think it might actually be on here. Let me just have a look. Yes, it's men's 34 to 52, which is a high waist circumference of 28.5 inches up to 46.5 inches and a hip measurement of 33.5 to 51.5. The approximate garment finished measurements are a waist of 31 to 49 and a hip circumference of 42 to 60. So they are fairly inclusive of sizes. I made the smallest size, which is a 34, which on the chart, a 34 comes up as high waist circumference as 28.5, which I am more of a 26, 27 waist, but these obviously come up quite small because they fit me like the pattern was drafted for my body. The waistband on them is incredibly comfortable. I said to my husband about it when I was trying them on after I actually finished them, before I hemmed them, and I said the way that they hold your sort of hip and your waist, it's almost like having a training belt on that you would use if you was lifting heavy items. They just make you stand, and they just I don't know, they just do something to you that just makes you want to stand proud and feel like you're something quite superior, which I don't feel very often. But these are the Basquiat trousers. So they have these really nice rear. They are supposed to have rear pockets, but I didn't want the extra bulk on the pockets because I made them from a mid-weight denim. I didn't want the extra bulk on the back pockets, and I don't really like back pockets because I end up shoving stuff in them that I don't really need to be carrying around in my pockets. So I thought eliminating them just means that I won't end up with loads of rubbish in my back pockets. So yeah, they have these two darts at the back which shape the rear trouser panels. They have a really, really nice fold over waistband. So you top stitch the outer and then you flip it down, tuck it under, and I top stitched it. It says on the pattern to slip stitch it, which I didn't decide to do. The fly front on the front is another aspect which I will go into detail at the moment. And then it has this really cool waistband that basically crisscrosses over. It has these two fastenings at each end here. And when the fastenings are open, it crisscrosses. They crisscross over, but you make a buttonhole so that one of the tabs can slide through and go through. And then they have a fly front, which opens like a normal fly front would. They have these two pleats either side, which creates more volume through here. And then they have slightly slanted pockets, which I used some gingham as the pocket linings in here. So what adjustments did I make to the pattern? The first thing I did was eliminated any use or whatever of the instructions. If you do want to make these, I would make them using the instructions that you would use to make a pair of trousers from another pattern, and just line up the darts and everything that Mood have put on the actual pattern pieces. So basically, the pattern itself is drafted really well. They fit really nicely. I really like the look of them. I like the shape of them. But in terms of the actual instructions, so these are a fairly involved make, and the instructions are 1, 2, 3. They are 5 pages long. And most of the pages have 1 picture and 1 line of instructions. So to say that they are brief is to kind of make a bit of an understatement. So they are a brilliant pattern, and I really love Mood patterns. I think they're excellently drafted. I've used quite a few of their patterns, but the instructions, there is a lot to be said for, because they basically say cut out your pattern pieces, sew your darts, and make the rest of your trousers. That is more or less what it says. So for instance, when it says about doing the fly front and putting the fly extension on and the fly guard on the back, it says in the pattern, oh, here we go. So it says, sew your 2 front pieces together at the crotch. Next, set in your zipper. If you're unfamiliar with a zip fly, check out this tutorial, which is a tiny little clip from their Instagram page, which shows inserting a fly front in a completely different way that relates to this pattern. It doesn't make any sense. So if I was to make this pattern again, what I would actually do is I would add the fly extension onto the front panels of the trousers. So I would actually glue the pattern pieces together and cut them as a whole. The reason for this is I would then go to Angela Kane's YouTube, and I would look for the how to attach a fly front zip tutorial, which goes along with her sewing jeans playlist, which I will, if I can, I will try and link it down below. Because if you do want to make the Basquiat trousers, the only thing that you probably will struggle with is the fly front, because if you've never done one before, they are slightly difficult. But Angela Kane's tutorial on how to do it, you can't really go wrong. As long as you follow it step by step, pause it, do that bit, pause it, do the next bit, pause it, and so on, you'll sail straight through it because it's so clear and so accurate. So I will try and link that down below, because if anyone did want to make these, that will be very helpful. Because the rest of it then after that, once you've sewn your... I mean, basically, if you've sewn anything from a pattern and you understand the placement of darts, pleats, and etc., once you actually have marked your pleats, your darts, and your pocket placement, those are all fairly self-explanatory things. So once you've actually done all of those, the rest of it is just like sew the side seams, hem them, put the waistband on. So I will link that down below. So that, I think, is probably enough of me rabbiting on about the Basquiat trousers. I will insert a video, if I haven't already, of me doing a little twirl in them and showing the waistband. And I will see you all soon. I hope that everyone that is going to the Sewing Expo this Friday coming has an amazing time. I am a little bit jealous that I won't be there, but hopefully I will be later in the year or later or early next year. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.